This is me, shell-shocked about hearing about Lux bot lane, and while I am not expecting to see it, you should be expecting to see it in your solo queue, because that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple days. Rudude, however, we've heard the analysts' wish lists for this draft. Let's hear about yours. A Caliban. Take your time. Take your time. I am going to figure things out. We've got plenty of time to. There we go. I can still hear you, but I'm not sure. We are going to. I'm going to say, hang out here. I'll talk to you a little bit about a break.
Back. Hello.
I'm going to lose my mind. Welcome back, Rudin.
Can we confirm we're good?
Let's just hold on. Rudin.
Yep.
Take a breath with me. Welcome to the casting desk, guys. It has been a long time since we've seen you, but I would love to get into game. However, before we do that, we got to go through the draft, and the draft is where all important things are set up, Rudude. So I want to hear what your wish list is going into game 2.
Well, first of all, dear, thank you for asking me for the first time here in this casting section what I'd like to see on the picks and bans. Sentiment of Avril once again that Akali needs to be taken away. Cozy was far too dominant on that one. And I also want to see whether or not we get another Taco Gaming Zeri ban, because I think that if this champion gets let through, there's a world where Supernova just slam that one and go very quickly into a bot lane trying to win type scenario. And with Akali taken away early on, looks like Supernova are listening and they're remembering that Cozy Akali is a bit of a nuisance. Now, Cozy still has that other Aurelia pocket pick, which I would love to see picked up just as a little tidbit to the two champs that I knew him for prior to expanding the champion pool, becoming a lot more versatile. But unfortunately, the Zeri does get taken away.
It is tough, because I do really want to see this champion played out on the big stage. However, it's going to have to wait, as Rise also going to have to wait. Tools continuing to be denied from Doxa, and I do wonder if that already gets paid a little bit of homage, whether it be in the bans or whether it just be in preempting her with some counter picks from Supernova, because I'm sure they don't want to see that again. Doxa was really good on it, and more so in the skirmishes that you highlighted that were going to be so strong for them early.
Galio's not banned. Galio was a big pick for Ariandel, period. And I think that's something that, with Camille, lock it in. They lock it in. I'm calling Galio on 2 or 3, because that's the dream duo right there, honestly. You pick up... Firefest actually played a lot of Camille as well, just in general. I think that when we saw him deviate from the tanks in the first qualifier, it was onto this Camille, but instead they're going to go for a different look, pick up something a little bit more renowned for its priority, the Lee Sin taken first of all. And with no junglers banned, it does make a lot of sense to see that one come through. We expect the answer potentially of a Xin Zhao here to be picked up. Viego still exists as well if Trickster wants to take that one. Or of course he could just divert back to that Graves. Plenty of options open to him, but we've still got plenty of priority in terms of those ADCs as well. Lynx, obviously, as we've seen in game number 1, preferred that Aphelios. Going to go back to it once again here and likely give the Jinx over to Psycho once more.
Glad to see that Taco Gaming, despite all of their shenanigans and the hovers, do end up retaining at least the seriousness with which they approached game 1, because it was necessary. It is the thing that brought them to a game point. It's important to remember that though the last half of, even the last 3 quarters of game 1 was heavily Taco Gaming favored, it took a very big explosive play, and one that Supernova will be on the lookout for come game 2. So I like that Taco Gaming are drafting themselves some late game insurance, expecting that Camille Galio to be locking down the early game from Supernova.
You can have as much late game insurance as you like. Okay. This is the dream pick. This is the one Exodia factor that answers Camille Galio. Tom Kench honestly was a must ban for Supernova if they were planning on running this, because Robex played it in game number 1, showed his hand on it literally last game, and is maybe the only answer outside of something like a Janna to propel the Camille out of her own ulti. This is the best pick for Taco Gaming to keep Lynx alive. I love the Tom Kench to pretty much immune what Supernova's entire topside combo is looking to do in the late stages of the game. You need to keep your eyes on Rovex for his positioning relative to the Aphelios, but so far it's looking very good for Taco.
Yeah, Rovex's Devour timings were exceptional in that first game, and moreover, locking in this Camille Galio gives Taco Gaming the opportunity to ban away the Jinx that we were sure Supernova were going to pick up. Keeping in mind that we're going to get a Galio mid lane, Camille obviously brings a decent amount of damage up towards the top side, but you want a hyper carry, and a UV ban as well. Does, you know what? It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not what I expected.
There's just not a lot else that Taco Gaming particularly need to fear, right? The Aphelios obviously gets out damaged by the Jinx in the late stages if they're all at max items, but there's nothing else outside of that that particularly does it. So keeping their eyes at least on the prize. Good to see that. Good to see that Aurelia Van talked about it earlier on for Cozy. Gets that taken away. No dicing duelist on the top side. Jax is still open as an answer to the Camille, so that could very easily come through and try and bully out 5F a little bit earlier on. With both of our solo lanes picked for Supernova, it is fairly easy now for Taco Gaming to say, hey, what do I want top lane versus this? What do I want to absorb all this pressure with? Because, I love the Gragas here if they take it. But if they take, when obviously another answer to the Camille just in general, but you know that this is going to be a top lane that is focused by Supernova. Because the way the Galio Camille ulti works is, typically the Galio is going to roam up to the top side to make that combo happen. The Camille infrequently goes into the mid lane and, hook shots into the mid lane, for example. It's a lot easier to execute on the top side to make that work. So keeping yourself a safe, stable top laner like this Gragas, who can ulti out of the Hextech Ultimatum, obviously very, very useful. This is a...
Karma, Ezreal Karma. They don't want anything to happen in the bot lane, but let's not forget, Taco Gaming have a styler in the mid lane, right? We've known the Galio was coming for a while. What do you pick to style into a Galio? It's really, really difficult, right? But I like to see Doxa give it his best shot. We might actually see something that is a little bit more long range like that. But this is an interesting pick as well. Cassiopeia providing a lot of late game scaling, more than Taco Gaming already had, and it's looking like a pretty good Taco Gaming angle this draft, I'm not going to lie to you.
It's looking very Tuesday. It's looking like we are indeed still in yesterday for me. But this late game scaling composition for Taco already really speaks to a must-win early type scenario for Supernova Galio, a champion that tends to fall off in the later stages regardless of what he's up against. Now he's up against a Cassio who can compound onto that, also has the grounded effect so that if the Justice Punch, or if they're looking for a Justice Punch, it's a lot more difficult to execute on now. So there's a lot of niche sort of interactions between these two. It's going to make it very difficult for Ariendel to play this game, and literally everybody except for Pseudo on the Supernova squad has got some sort of mobility that's going to be ruined by that grounded effect. So the Miasma certainly going to be a very powerful cooldown that really does need to be played around by Taco a little bit.
The thing is, I just haven't seen a Cassiopeia in so long. She's not really a prevalent meta pick, and so, if anything, I mean, not only is this excellent to see Doxa on because mechanically it's very challenging, but also because it does give him the opportunity to prove to not just himself, but everyone that he can continue to pull these picks that you haven't seen in a long time out of nowhere and school you on them. That's the potential that Doxa has this game. Supernova will obviously try and ruin time and time again.
Yeah, they're not looking to give Doxa 17 kills and, let him style all over you and get those significant highlight reel montages out in force. And I think that early on, we're looking at Supernova to really put the foot to the floor and put some advantages in, because like we've touched on, if this Taco Gaming squad goes into 15-20 minutes and they're even in gold, they're already winning. And I think that their composition is also set up really well to dissuade those plays. I think that the Gragas in the top lane, one of the best answers to the Camille Galio that you could think of. I think that as an answer to the combo in general, Tom Kench, no matter who's getting ulted, he can always say, hey, you know what? You're in a little bit of trouble there, my good friend. Let me swallow you up. Let me take you to safety.
Yeah, real nice guy, Rovex in the bot lane. Does do a really good job of identifying when his teammates are in the most trouble as well. I think that this sort of alludes back to something that Cubby was talking about a lot on the desk, but the fact that he has made this role swap makes him all the more aware of when his mid laner or his AD carry would need him most, because he's used to being in these backline positions. He's very sympathetic to that, I think, in a subconscious level, can sort of transcend communication and go, I bet something's going to happen here. I'm going to be ready to save you, because it does take that level of almost prescience that we saw last game to come up with these highlight reel moments. However, Supernova are going to be expected, I would say, to move a little bit up towards the top side and perhaps give Fire Theft a bit of a different look this time around. So look for Ariandel to make big waves there as we finally hit the Rift. Game 2 is on the way, and Supernova, they got a 5-man strat ready for us.
They're looking for something here. Predator boots for Ariandel. He's likely to start W if they see somebody. Now, of course, that is the first part, is that they have to spot somebody out before they go for this one. But the bot lane 2v2 brush play is what we've seen from Taco Gaming right now. Lynx. Oh, no way. Oh, that's...
Oh my god.
He sees them all go in. That's devastating. If they'd have just stayed there. No.
They know. It's all over. Supernova. Unfortunate for them. They do lay down a few wards. Trickster there makes sure that they exit the jungle as well. Psycho is seen leaving, so a little bit of early data, I suppose, in the favor of Supernova because they do have those wards. But even so, not a whole lot of wards. It's not a whole lot of vision. Taco Gaming should still be able to play their early game however they would like, and Trickster on this Viego still very much empowered by the rest of his team, who, let's not forget, have made the adjustment to play around him.
They're going to level 1 Gank Doxa. They're actually going to Predator boot him. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I baited you. They're not, but it would have been funny.
It would have been pretty cool. That would be one way to stop the styling. Would it have been overall an effective macro strategy? Perhaps not, but would it have been content? Absolutely. But right now, Supernova try to keep the content to a minimum, instead keeping the winning to a maximum, and don't actually miss a CS as they return to bot lane as well. They get away with a blue buff, and it's looking pretty good.
So far, not too shabby. We have to see where Trickster goes. Obviously, doesn't have the complete information of where the Lee Sin started, but it can be fairly well inferred from the pathing that, say, Psycho and Pseudo made on their way back into the laning phase. Now, this bot lane itself has a lot of poke, Ezreal Karma, a lot of range, and should be able to bully out Lynx and Rovex. Of course, the fact that they didn't have access to the lane early on makes it a little bit more difficult, and that Rovex and Lynx were able to control what happened to the lane. Unfortunately, they've kind of pushed themselves into a pretty rough spot where the lane is past the halfway point for them. And the Supernova, they've got a little bit of time here to make something happen, particularly since Baco is obviously down on that bot side of the map. You could see the necessary respect was being paid for the cheeky level 2 Lee Sin gank.
And just now, Trickster's going to realize as he rounds the corner that blue buff Grump not actually taken just yet. Let's see how he reacts. All right, rounding the corner, you got nothing. Where do you go? Trickster, not stuttering too much on the way, does end up walking over here, and you got to imagine that Supernova could have recognized this eventuality.
Well, maybe, but with Rovex hiding in the brush, he's going to get the Abyssal Dive without being seen.
Oh my god, Psycho gets knocked up as well. The stun doesn't quite come through. Psycho Arcane shifts underneath the tower, burns the flash, but still goes down for first blood. Trickster will be answered back, but another kill goes to Lynx. And remember, Supernova needed to see that coming.
So worthwhile. Doxa almost solo kills Ariandel in the mid lane as well. The red buff goes to Lynx here, so he's got a lot of prio in the bot lane now to keep pushing, keep on fighting. As long as Doxa doesn't die here, he has flash, has ghost.
Ariandel's going for it. Flashes underneath the tower, though. Doesn't quite connect. Q does land, though. And the grounded effect may still kill. Baco flashing away from Trickster and getting the safeguard to the ward. I think he's bought himself enough time, but it is just barely that he gets away.
Taking Doxa down, a little bit of a reprieve then for Supernova, the kill that they needed, and particularly with the wave being pushed on into the turret. It should be good for Ariandel to keep himself, at least, in a good spot in this lane. I think he should get out of that one. But yeah, this is that gank effort, and this gets a little bit hairy for Supernova. This stun from Trickster, just a little delayed. Psycho able to flash it, and forces the flash under the turret from Trickster, which ultimately gets him killed. Lynx there with a really good snipe off the Calibrum Q. Does get the red buff transferred, though. Nice tight timing on that one. Gives the red buff over to the AD carry, but now Trickster, he wants a bit of revenge for this free buff.
He's got vision on this, does end up jumping forward, takes away that blue buff, knock-up lands, Baco goes down just like that. Mid laner is avenged. Trickster not able to jump onto Fire Theft there, but will be able to take away the Grump next. So evening up the early jungle pathing, and getting himself that extra kill. Very nice for him.
We love that from Rovex. First base and goes immediately back to the River King's habitat, goes up to the top side, goes for a little swim, dives in and takes down Baco. Nice coordination between himself and Trickster there to sync up that invade timing, get the kill on to Baco and take down the Gromp as well. So stealing away CS, that Sheen in his infantry, he is looking very confident here, looking toward that Divine Sunder early on, you would imagine. Supernova, they're looking to try and defend this vision, but they just can't do it. They've got no standing in this bot lane right now with the all-in capability of a Tahm Kench. Obviously, the thing that you need to be worried about is that exit damage. But New Quiver versus effectively Longsword in terms of combat power is just no joke. And Taco Gaming, they've got all the leads they need.
Oh my lord, let's see how this brawl plays out over here, though. Trickster going up against Baco. Ooh, the Q goes a little bit wide, but the reset actually buys him crucial time. It will be Fire Theft coming in on the back of this to try and finish off Doxa. The ultimate doesn't quite land. Doxa screams once more before returning to that gray screen. It is tough, though, because these things are being kept even just barely. Nicely done in the bot lane by Psycho to actually pick up yet another kill. Lynx maybe staring down the face of death as well. Taco Gaming still playing on the edge. This is the Supernova that kept things close in game one.
500 gold to separate the two teams right now, and Supernova coming out on top in the bot lane. Talked about that exit damage being what they needed to be fearful for. Lynx doesn't have the gap closing capability to get on top of Psycho and Pseudo there in the bot lane skirmish. So once you've dove forward, it's a one-way trip for the Tahm Kench. One of the drawbacks here of being a support with low economy is that you want that tanky, in all fairness, so getting taken down there. A little bit unfortunate, but is indeed the consequence. Now, 2 kills for Doxa in the, or a kill and a, just a kill, rather, no kill and assist. It was a solo kill for Trickster onto Baco. Getting those little bits of gold in his pocket certainly going to be helping. And here, we've hit that point where Camille Galio is officially online. They've both hit level 6. And with Fire Theft getting the double buffs off of the kills in the jungle, it's about time for some shenanigans to occur on the top side. Blue buff was secured by Doxa, so they're going to know that Trickster's on the bot side here. And with Baco moving up to this top side, with Galio pushing in that wave, there's a very real possibility that this top lane becomes a bit of a pressure point.
I'd really like to see that 3-man dive. There is a pink ward in the brush to ward this off, and Ariandel actually goes down just to make sure that this dragon has been started. They've got full data on Trickster now, and if you're going to make the top lane dive happen, Ariandel has to completely bypass this mid lane, push it in as fast as possible, and get out. Instead, takes a very small trade with Doxa. Top lane dive isn't set up just yet. Trickster roaming up as well, now in touching distance of this, and the trigger has to be pulled now. It's already what seems like 10 seconds late. Supernova aren't going to get away with this.
Ariandel could be looking for Doxa here. Remember, they can do the reverse on this play, but it does require 5F to start it off.
Taunt comes in, Justice Punch doesn't connect. Trickster, very nice Heartbreaker, respectfully to get away. Supernova spend a lot of time up this top side and effectively get nothing for it.
Bot lane skirmish is continuing to go in favour of Supernova as well. They've just got the range advantage, it would appear, taking the Mystic shots and hitting them quite hard. Mantra Qs as well, always going to be fairly scary from Pseudo. And we took a look at that top side skirmish right there. It's always very hard for Supernova to try and find that engage when Fire Theft had, I believe, taken a pretty rough trade in the top lane, was trying to walk into the jungle at about 60% HP, which is not a high enough total to be, willingly committing onto Camille Viego. Particularly getting those resets on a Viego is essentially what he lives for. So giving a kill over there could have been devastating. Now Taco Gaming continuing their supreme reign of objectives, not even transitioning their bot lane up here, just taking this Rift Herald as a 2-man of the mid jungle, and now Baco could go in.
Watch out for the ultimate, though. Petrifying Gaze, a big enough ward off that Supernova don't instantly go for the engage. Instead, it's going to be Fire Theft that commits first a 3-man taunt, but a 2-man Petrifying Gaze does even things up. There it is, the Hextech ultimatum, and the huge knockup from Ariandel to even things up. 1-for-1, top laner for top laner. Ariandel gets another knockup. Trickster almost goes down, but he's alive, and he Justice punches his way back into the front lines with Doxa running down Baco. It's another kill that goes into Trickster's pocket, and Taco Gaming once again find their fight around the Rift Herald.
A very well played fight on all fronts right there, but unfortunately the wallet check from Taco Gaming is a little too high. Tier 2 boots versus a lost chapter, giving just the edge over to Doxa there. And there was a 3-man kick, a 3-man knock-up from the hero's entrance, a 3-man petrifying, 2-man petrifying gaze, a really good body slam, cask, everything was hitting. You know, we were playing so melee in all of that fight, it's a wonder that Cassiopeia is actually a range champion. But everybody's hitting on everything, and eventually it's Taco Gaming that come out on top, taking the fight by storm and just having the slightly better skirmish on the top side there. That could well be a determining point in this game. And when you're having a bit of a deadlock, those small trades on the top side that sort of lead to now a full item completion for Trickster versus just the components for Baco, and they begin to snowball if they come to blows in another skirmish around, say, the Drake in 2 minutes' time, and those items haven't been completed. That's when you're really going to start to feel it.
This dragon is really the thing that we've got to look out for. However, Fire Theft taken, again, advantageous trades up in this top side. It is incredibly difficult to lane up against a Gragas, though, especially when that Gragas has Cozy over his head, because Cozy is well experienced into matchups like this and ones that are a lot higher pressure with multiple people in his lane. However, seems like Supernova going to be tested down toward this bot side as Doxa and Trickster do roam down. They got the Rift Herald, they got the ability to break the tower, and they're going to make it happen.
It looks like it's just going to be the charge. 4 versus 4 down on the bot side means it's very unlikely that Taco Gaming actually open this turret. A couple plates go over, and you can also see the roam from Fire Theft. He's there, he pushes in the mid wave, and he's going to be able to go and then collect probably a couple of creeps of his own top wave. So a good overall play by the top laner there to absorb as much gold as possible, deny a lot from Doxa as well. But overall, we're getting to this point. Remember, dear, when I said if Taco Gaming coming to this sort of 15-20 minute marker even, they're doing very well. Well, we're earlier than that, and they're ahead on gold. So this is looking incredibly good for Taco Gaming. Oh my word. What is this angle?
I don't know, but I like it. Taco Gaming do have a numbers advantage down
incredible.
here. 2 versus 3, and Psycho and Pseudo not having a good time. Red-white on the other side means that Lynx is invincible, and Psycho has to back away into his doom underneath the tower. Teleport does save the actual structure itself, but Taco Gaming seem largely unbothered by it.
Robix is so good. What? That gank is insane. The angle on pulling that one off is genuinely incredible. Gotta give full credit over to setting that one up. They burn the teleport of Fire Theft as well to literally no avail. You know, you get Cozy now farming even more on the top side, getting that lead to be narrowed between the two top laners. Baco's there to secure the farm, great, but that puts him on the wrong side of the map for this Drake spawn now. With Taco Gaming, they're starting up this Drake, and Lynx is just based. He wasn't in a position to really help out with this one, but they don't care. They've got the lead, and they're going to hemorrhage it.
Let's take a look at how it all broke down. You talked about this angle. Let's see how it was set up right there, right next to the wall. Trickster and Rovex get to duo hop into dooming the enemy bot lane. Supernova really had nothing to do here.
No, and you can see that this TP, it comes through, but unfortunately, just a little too late. That is an absolute heartbreaker. Steals the soul. Now we've got topside.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, we got a double cask going on here as well. Cozy's walking into Psycho, but something tells me he doesn't mind because he's got friends on the way. Trickster and Rovex hopping up here. Pseudo is gone before I can even say his name. And a double kill goes over to Doxa just like that. It's heartbreak into heartbreak.
Remember, dear, that this Taco Gaming roster obviously has a few concerns the later the game goes. The Supernova Camille Galio combo, I don't think we've really seen it fully fleshed out just yet.
Hey, Lynx doesn't have red white this time though, so Fire Theft fight is not that fun, and that makes it even less so. We do get to see a teaser of the combo that we know is deadly, but in a situation that I don't think we'll see again.
Yeah, and in one that was honestly fairly fleshed out regardless. I know that I'm pretty sure Fire Theft was going to get that kill regardless of Camille or regardless of Galio ulti, but it's nice to have at least showcased it once to show everybody at home quite how difficult it would be to disengage this. And we have to touch on it once again because that's Supernova's win condition. It's Camille Galioing onto, in this case, Doxa, because Doxa is an absolute monster this game. 120 CS, 4 kills. You can see he's got almost the most gold in the game, save for his jungler who's currently got 6 kills, so you can understand why. If you're trying to focus anybody, we're hoping it would be this backline threat of the Snake. So getting her out of the fight is going to be #1 priority. But again, we've got to keep our eyes on Rovex in that case, because as soon as the Hextech Ultimatum comes through, he needs to be there. He needs to be ready to stop it from happening. Even if he ults them preemptively, to stop it once they've been hookshot, that's enough to stymie the engage and enough to buy the time for either Lynx or Doxa, whoever's not the target, to start ripping through this Camille.
So much disruption with the Gragas as well. We talked about how much we liked that pick, and Cozy was really on point during the Game 1 team fights. Game 2 has definitely not left anything to be desired either, as Lynx has plenty of space and time up in topside to take another tower. His team has the easiest of times securing this next Rift Herald, already having lost the first one. They're gonna make the second one likely have an impact felt in the mid lane, because it's the only tier 1 left for Supernova.
I think it's about at the threshold of just getting popped as well by summoning it. There's also, particularly when you're on this red side, you can force a charge into mid tier 1. You can actually do it on either side of mid lane, where you can just force a charge and there's nothing really that the enemies can do. If you sit in the brush just to the north where there's that red control ward right now, place the Herald over the wall, you can actually make it so that the Rift Herald pretty much gets a charge unless the enemy team is able to deal the 5k damage that it needs in the time it takes for it to walk up and charge.
Or you've got a Poppy, and in this case, nobody's got anything of the kind. However, down in the jungle, we've definitely got a skirmish happening, as Fire Theft very quickly makes short work of Trickster alongside Peiko. That is a lot of damage. Not 5,000, but it's a lot.
It's enough, honestly. Trickster goes down, Drake spawning in 120, and it means that Taco Gaming, they're probably going to have to cede the majority of control around this Drake for the next 10 to 15 seconds whilst we get Trickster respawning. Doxa could well be on the hunt here. Instead, he's just going to go and collect his minions and make sure that he continues his scaling aspect. Got that Liandry's as well, as the Archangels now fully completed into the Seraph. So looking pretty strong on this Cassio. 2 items at 16, 17 minutes into the game. Certainly a good position for him to be in relative to Ariandel, who's just a little behind. Not doing too badly himself either with that NL in his chat.
Ooh, Psycho, oh my god, wait, the Moonfall, the auto Lynx somehow does it, and in terrifying fashion, solo kills Psycho in the mid lane with 2 people watching.
Yeah, and you can hear the questions in Dia's voice, because that's crazy. That shouldn't have happened, but Lynx just finds the angle, knows his damage perfectly, is able to get the final bloom on the Infernum Q there, which makes the Gravitum auto just follow, and it's a slow demise for Psycho. They call Herald 4 in the mid lane, and going to get 1 turret, maybe even a second charge here. Likely not going to get the turret since they don't have an ADC to pump in the DPS from afar. But that puts a large chunk into that mid-tier 2 and means that if Supernova ever take a wonky fight, they're going to be A-okay to just continue barreling down this mid lane and continue picking up objectives.
That was very crazy. That was muy crazy. As I'm still recovering.
You're Spanish. You can say crazy in Spanish.
Yeah, muy loco, sí. For the concerned viewers at home, it's fine. I do actually. We're good. We're good. I promise. We've got Cloud Dragon going down as well. Taco Gaming somehow even making this an even better Tuesday for themselves, with Doxa collecting the blue buff and heading down to side lane, as is his god-given right. I don't think anybody could stop this guy right now, and
Rovex.
You can turn this into a very strange sort of win condition. However, this time Rovex is not nearly as... he doesn't get as many free passes on the Tom Catch.
No. They're not as far ahead as Game 1 would have allowed you. Lynx. Oh, Lynx is probably absolutely A-okay, never mind. Ariandel doesn't have Predator readily available, so he's going to be okay. Doxa continues to split push down on the spot side, and if nobody's going to answer him, then he's going to continue to pick up gold, continue to take down these turrets, and a tier 2 turret for the Camille.
Who outskills who in this scenario?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, he just ulted top lane. 5 that's dead, I'm pretty sure.
That's wild. Cozy actually manages to, well, I suppose help out his jungler in doing that. However, Doxa, Petrifying Gaze still available. Baco with the preemptive flash does still get flashed on and petrified by Doxa. Maybe 1v2 incoming here. Ignite's ticking down. Doxa outplaying in the 1v2. He's insane.
He lives. He's alive.
Against all laws of nature, Doxa manages to outplay that. And yeah, He had a little bit of help, but he could have done it. That was wild. Let's take a look at it again. How on earth are these illegal maneuvers allowed? Wait a minute. This is topside. Let's see how Fire Theft does.
Well, Fire Theft died because he took one turret shot, and then Cozy was like, "Yeah, thank you. That's enough to spell my way forward." Actually, a really good sidestep. But then, the beautiful interrupt.
Cozy's and then so good.
He probably has this right, and then he just goes, "You know what, Trickster? I'll let you have this." And then there's this. So Doxa, look at the he saves his ulti. He's waiting for Baco to flash so that he can then flash and follow. Gets the Conqueror procced and then ignite. He even misses this Q here. Doesn't even sidestep the second or the Winds of War. But he's got just enough with the sustain coming through. I don't know.
I don't think it's scientifically possible to tell. Another great Devourer, though, does actually take him out. How does Rovex do it? What on earth? We go from insanity to insanity in Taco Gaming. They keep styling. Lynx, however, alive. They actually still have to leave his support to die. Rovex is re-engaging this, though, when the big knockup comes in. Baco goes low, and we're actually piling in here. Doxa's arrived now, and Taco Gaming have yet to lose a member as Cozy barrels forward, literally and figuratively. They finally lose Rovex along the side, but they are not done yet. Doxa's got a Q on him. Sonic, Resonating Strike, rather, could still follow through. Cozy gets a root down, and it's so difficult for Taco Gaming to find and engage. Lynx is finally here to auto. Supernova find another kill by dancing around Taco Gaming. They're somehow winning this.
Yeah, Asio is mid-range, and you're playing up against Ezreal Karma. That's a lot of long-range poke that it's difficult to get in range of here. Lynx has been able to sustain up, and now with Inferno, may well be able to kill Ariana. I thought he was just going to clear the wave. He just takes down the mid laner. This is the nature of a full AP Galio, not as tanky as ones we've seen in the past. Well, we're going from place to place here, dear. Lynx has no business surviving that situation, and he just gets absolutely Tom Kenched.
This is another unreasonably low HP threshold that Taco Gaming has fallen to, and I'm starting to think that they're doing it intentionally, because it is wild to be able to escape scenarios like this and have two different people do it completely illegally, I might add, is really something else.
Oh, yeah, and...
Pushing Tuesday to the limit here.
They really are. How much taco can Tuesday give you?
I don't know. Is it this much? Again, I have no idea. Rovex gets another excellent Devour, but this time doesn't take Trickster out. This is how the interaction should work.
No, Trickster trolls.
Did he get out?
I think so. I can't confirm it. We'll have to review the VOD, but Rovex is like, "Come in with me, buddy," and then Trickster's like, "I'm good. I'll die. Thank you."
Surely you can't leave the hack deck open. It must. I don't even know. I don't even know how
Lynx just did it.
I thought he did, but maybe it expired. I don't even know. We're literally pushing the limits of League of Legends in this game, Rue, dude. I simply can't put it all together. However, woohoo! The root comes in. Cozy seems pretty comfortable with the whole idea, and Taco Gaming seem comfortable with the idea of just taking Baron now, because they've got plenty of dragons. They don't need this Cloud Soul shocking everyone. And instead, we'll just opt for the actual buff.
Yeah, and Trickster was dead. They're doing this off the back of their jungler not being alive, so they're going full confidence mode right now. They are going to peel off whilst they wait for Trickster. Supernova are going to have an inside track on mid lane, and Ezreal Karma are very good at denying space because they can just poke out like this, as you can see. But Rovex on the flank now, maybe going to look for that knock-up.
Watch Psycho here. He's putting out a lot of damage. A little bit of gold does fall into the pockets of Supernova, but so much of their game plan has to be around this Ezreal being able to lay out the poke before the objectives. And right now, Doxa is he's just starting this up. Taco Gaming want to go for it. They got no reason to give it up.
No, I mean, the Drake never got taken by Supernova in the first place, so they're at exact same liberty to do this. FF has got TP, so he can get there should this get started, but with the timing, they're probably not going to be able to melt this down before Fire Theft can get in with the TP. Remember, eyes on Rovex and that ulti.
Bako has to steal right now. 3,000, 2,000 health. Bako does get stopped over the wall. The cast comes
really
through.
good.
Bako cannot get in, but Fire Theft somehow does end up taking the dragon down in the meantime. Now coming over, however, Ariandel falls low. He goes down. Fire Theft has shown up, stops Ariandel from jumping into the fight, but the damage has been done, and Fire Theft will go down. Taco Gaming get the Baron. They lose no members, at least so far. Doxa still outplaying this 1v2. He takes it again. A double kill going over to Doxa. They get everything. They lose nothing. Tuesday is pushed to the absolute maximum.
It's a Doxa diff, baby. Triple kill for the Cassiopeia, and he's going to take down Supernova, take down the bot lane, Baron in hand, and this could just be the series.
It's just a Doxa. It really is. I could not have put it better as Ariandel respawns desperately, trying to ward off what feels like the inevitable. Taco Gaming are going to take at least one Nexus tower down, and if they take him down, it might just all be over. Fire Theft does get the Hextech ultimatum into the backline, but the cask ends the play as he's relegated off to a flank. Doxa has shown up as well, and Taco Gaming have yet to lose a member. Resonating Strike not going to connect. Bako desperately searching for kills. May have overextended. Trickster's looking for him. The Heartbreaker forward. The kick backwards. Trickster flashes away. Fire Theft can't get in with the hook shot. And ultimately, Bako burns down. Taco Gaming can continue. They can end this game right here, right now.
They've still got Baron, they've still got one solitary cannon minion trying to wail away right here. The Nexus now exposed. Psycho and Pseudo, what can they do?
No Nexus towers at all. Fire Theft cannot touch the back line. Literally still the immortal members of Taco Gaming are defying everything. They start to fall as a three-man taunt comes in. Ariandel may have done it, but Doxa and Trickster turn it around. It starts with them, and it ends with them. This jungle mid duo is too much. And Trickster and Doxa, they get to style away as they watch the Nexus fall.
Taco Gaming's coach said they were planning to play more around Trickster. Both of the mid and the jungle end with over 10 kills. Resets on resets, outplays on outplays. These two guys are insane.
You could not have written a more perfect ending than Trickster and Doxa taking down the last couple members, sending it to a win. That was incredible to watch, and I'm amazed that we got to see Trickster and Doxa do that. And Doxa, so many times in that game, just popped off.
Cassio with Conqueror, everybody. Welcome to healing that should not be legal, should not be on a mage that can deal that much damage. That was absolutely incredible. Doxa playing to within an inch of his life right there, to within literally an inch of the snake's life as well. Multiple times, several just single-digit HP moments, and he continues to survive, continues to find the outplays, find the kills, find everything that they needed. Taco Gaming, they complete the 2-0, and you know they're up into now that upper bracket game.
Looked super impressive as well. I cannot tell you enough how amazing that looked. Now, I'm sorry to cut this short, Rooted, but I'm in the unenviable position of having to explain to my cat that Tuesday is not the day to predict Supernova, and I don't think she's going to take it very well. So I may or may not make it to the next stream, but for right now, we're going to take a break so that I can do this. We'll be right back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined by the victorious midlaner of Taco Gaming. That would be Doxa. Doxa, congrats on the 2-0, man. You guys look good, doing it in style. I know coming into the interview, you said you guys have been playing really good this week. You guys just showed it on stage with that 2-0. How have things been feeling with you and the team? How have you guys been gelling lately?
About 2 weeks ago, we weren't having such a good time. A lot of disagreements and calls, and we never were on the same page. But after many scrims, we somehow just clicked. We're not sure what it is, but it just clicked this week. And everyone's on the same page, and we're playing really well. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, it really looked like it in those 2 games. You guys really took it to Supernova, pushes you to a rubber match against Maryville. I do want to ask you about that in a bit, but first, I want to ask you about this Cassiopeia pick in Game 2. We just saw you obliterate the map. Now, I know that Ariendel's Galio, something you guys had to be have on your minds, given the fact that it was banned in Game 1. Was this a counter that you specifically prepped for Galio? Was it something that you just thought was going to be good in Game 2? How'd the Cassiopeia pick kind of come about? And, yeah, you were able to go off on it.
So, well, I haven't played Cassio this season yet, but I know she's really good into Galio, and I know I have a lot of games on her. So I always know that I can win that matchup. So I have that in the back of my mind, and when I saw the Galio pick, I was just telling my coach, just give me Cassio. Like, just trust me, I'm going to carry, as long as my teammates don't die from his roams. So yeah, I was very confident in the Cassio, even though I didn't really play it this season.
I sure looked like it. I know that you guys, speaking of those roams, you actually managed to almost move around the map as much as this Galio, as we got Heat Map from your play, sponsored by Macro Hard. Kind of you in the mid lane and kind of how this team sets up with Trickster. What's it like for you guys, like, making calls? Or what was his plan like the second game to try and break this Galio Camille comp? Because it felt like, Supernova at least got off to it was an even start about 10 minutes in, but after those first couple of team fights, you guys broke everything apart. Who's kind of the person that's leading comps for you guys in those situations?
It's usually between Rovex and Trickster, and also myself. Early games is usually Trickster's taking over as a jungler, but mid to late, I think all 3 of us, and sometimes Cozy could put his input in and Lynx as well, but it's mainly just me, Rovex, and Trickster calling the shot calls in the mid to late game. But the heat map, the thing about me and Trickster is that we're very confident. So if we have like a slightly winning or even 2v2, we're gonna want to take the fight. So once they walk into river, we're down to take any fights. And I know a lot of teams can be a little intimidated by that. So a lot of times we would just take control of the river together as 2.
It certainly looked like it in that series. Now, Trickster, this is the second tournament that you guys are playing in this Proving Ground season together. What, like, some of the highlights playing with Trickster? What are some of the things that really excites you about your jungler on your squad?
The confidence and the mechanics, for sure. We both like to fight a lot, and we used to duo back when duo was a thing, and take over games by 2v2ing. So we have a lot of synergy there, so I'm very happy that I'm playing with him again.
That's cool. I didn't know that. And that synergy, we saw it in this series, but going up against your next opponent next Tuesday, it's going to be you guys going up against APA, Odd Orange, and Maryville. I know that, your coach said that you have high expectations for this team going into this tournament. What are your expectations going up against Maryville as you guys try and top your group?
Maryville is like a very familiar face to me, and we usually come out ahead against them. So we're expecting a win against Maryville, and for the tournament, I think we can get first place.
With that performance, you guys are definitely a team that is clamoring towards the top with everyone else. Doxa, congrats on your win. Before I let you go, just want to give you the floor. Anything else you'd like to share? Any thank yous or shout outs, stuff like that?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my team, Cozy, Trickster, Lynx, and Rovex, of course, and our analyst, Daniel, our assistant coach, Felvo, and our main coach, Shia, and Taco, again, great manager, pulled the team together. Big shout out to Taco.
Yeah, well, hey, it certainly looked like you guys were together, playing together, taking that 2-0 together, and excited to see you guys together going up against Maryville next week. Doxa, thanks so much for your time, man. See you later. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, going to be going back to the decks. This time I remember to swap towards you guys, so not going to abandon you at all. And it's going to be that 2-0 for Taco Gaming. Doxa, I feel like he had to be the one that got the interview because pretty much like that back half of the game was the three of us sitting in the call, watching the game, just being like, oh my god, Doxa's Cassiopeia.
Yeah, we were shouting the Doxa diff every time. They did it on the cast too. I'm proud. Yeah, that was a crazy game. I can't believe he just told us that he hasn't played it all year. This is the first time he's played it in 2022. That's insane. He just pulled that out in a performance like that.
I mean, Doxa, he's someone that, you know, we've been excited about since he played with Winthrop, that collegiate championship roster, now back in amateur with Taco Gaming, and Trickster, someone else that we didn't get to see enough of Trickster last year for extenuating circumstances, but him and Doxa have come into this amateur season roaring back smacks.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they're back. And to hear that they were duo partners too.
I didn't know that.
So, that's so adorable. These guys have been friends for so long. I'm really glad that they're just crushing everybody on the Rift. They've got that synergy, and you know, I just want to see it again. We should probably just watch those clips again because the Cassiopeia plays speak for themselves.
We do have some clips and some replays to fly. I do want to start with our first one as we start to dive into the game and why this was a 2-0 in favor of Taco Gaming. I think it's important though. Supernova, Galio, Camille, this is a comp that we have seen them run and run to success. They were able to make some plays early, but were never able to truly break the map against Taco Gaming. And this fight, the choke, Avril, you were hyped about this one.
Oh my god, this flash, this flash fight cast was so good. And into like the positioning from the flash into the perfect positioning to all three was just so nutty, and that was really good. It was game changing.
Yeah. Keep in mind, hasn't played this champ yet this year.
Yeah.
Now he has.
Sure doesn't look like it, yeah. As Doxa, that was the first play that he was able to turn around. From there, though, Taco Gaming did not slow down. I know that there were some interesting plays going on the bot side, Avril, that you kind of wanted to hit on, as it was actually a couple of okay 2v2 plays coming out from the bot lane to Supernova that started to make this game a little bit closer.
Exactly.
Should have a replay flying up soon of what we got in store, as I do know that most of these somewhat later fights in the game, but kind of as we go over these, there were some points with Taco Gaming that we felt like other teams might be able to get the best of as time goes on, but I guess first clip, it's Doxa just getting the best of Supernova yet again.
So
Yeah, you know, honestly, this is my bad. I told the producers to just play all the Doxa clips, so
That's okay.
I
That's
guess
okay.
I got a little starstruck. Honestly, that's my bad. But
I mean,
yeah, you can see
Avril
why.
said it. 1 HP, right? Another instance where it's a 1 HP Doxa. It's just calculated. He's built
Crazy.
different. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's it. Last point of the game, somewhat close. That last dragon fight where Supernova took the 4th Drake. Taco were able to secure the Baron, wipe the fight after. I know that playing Galio Camille, it's definitely something that it's a little bit difficult to do into a Tom Kench. Cassiopeia can also deter a lot of the dives, but this was one where the Camille was taking Dragon. And when that happened, we had Taco Gaming rip the rest of Supernova apart.
So for Fire Theft, like, he is the main linchpin to get the Galio and Camille fights started. So to have him make the call to go over here, I think it just takes too long for the Camille to actually take this one down. I understand what they were going for to deny the soul. I think this team fight is just way too important. Taco Gaming also
Exactly.
know this because they just ignore it.
And they were able to split up the rest of Supernova and Avril. I mean, the way that Taco Gaming was able to play out these fights in the back half was very impressive.
Exactly. The macro from SN was kind of the killer here, because if this was their only chance at winning this game. I mean,
Yeah.
the game did look pretty doomed after the Doxa Rift play, which I mean, it was literally single-handedly Doxa that carried that one. So it's just sad.
Yeah, Doxa buying those resets for Trickster, Taco Gaming buying this game from Supernova, and maybe going to celebrate with some Taco Tuesday of their own, as they have a lot to celebrate off of that 2v2 win. do want to say a couple nice things though about Supernova. I know we aren't going to fly the replay of it, but Avril, there was a couple 2v2 plays specifically where you thought their bot lane played out some of the scenarios rather nicely.
Yes, we don't have the replay, but they really capitalized on the weaker links of Taco Gaming and which is their bot lane, and I think that really goes to show how much determination and like sticking power this roster is going to have if they can still put up a fight against such a stacked roster.
Yeah, Supernova definitely did not go down without a fight in this game, put up a better fight compared to game 1. And hey, they still have another chance in this tournament as they will be going up against nameless randoms to see who gets eliminated or who gets to face the loser of Maryville Taco Gaming to make sure they get out of this group. Any other closing thoughts on this series, on this game that we had? Of course, want to start with our esteemed guest, Avril, laying down the knowledge for us. Anything you're going to walk away with, be impressed by?
I am definitely going to play Cassiopeia ADC like today. I'm not kidding.
Lux is out the window. Where it's just back to we're going to cast now.
After honestly, I'm just playing Cassiopeia.
Switch the sides. You know what? Doxa can't do that. That was a pretty impressive Cassio game. Smacks?
I guess I'm just gonna have to try to avoid Avril in rank so I can play Cassiopeia bot lane instead. I fully agree. That champion looks so fun. I mean,
why not mid?
Mid lane's not as fun. You gotta have a friend alongside you in the lane.
Dude,
I play your support main.
Exactly. I play anything mid. I play anything ADC. I'm playing Renata AD carry. I'm ill, and I'm okay with that.
She's got 550 attack range. It's actually not that bad. I support you in doing this.
It's quite horrible, but like it's really like I'm winning the games. She's broken, so
she is really broken.
Wait, are you saying that a new champ that was released is broken?
No way.
No way.
That's crazy.
No way. Unfortunately, Avril, don't want to have to release you yet, but we're about to wrap up the show. Everyone at home, go follow Avril on Twitter. Avril, thanks so much for joining us. Any closing words, thoughts?
Thank you so much for having me. I always have so much fun, and if you guys ever want me back, I'm always here. Last minute, always.
All right, well, we'll keep that in mind. If we need more, if we see any more Cassiopeia, we got you on Discord now, so we'll make sure to throw you in the pile. Smacks, of course, thanks so much for joining me, buddy, as we are wrapping up this day. And thank you to our sponsors. As before we exit, we do have a couple sponsors we need to highlight. Of course, we would not be able to put on this show if it was not for our wonderful sponsors. Not to mention the wonderful production team that we have behind the scenes, but also have some people helping us out, namely Skulls, and I believe any other sponsors that we have on the graphic. As unfortunately, there we go. See, Atlantic, Gangster.gg if you need to find your scrims, and Balti, as really appreciate all the support that you're lending us for the show, helping us bring the best League of Legends that North America has to offer outside the franchise organizations to you and your screens on these Monday and Tuesday nights. And speaking of that, we do have more League of Legends action tomorrow on twitch.tv/academy and twitch.tv/facettv. If you do want to catch some Academy action, we have a couple good games this week. Encourage you to tune in and see some of the best League of Legends that we have to offer outside the LCS that are just outside the ecosystem. So with that said, thank you everyone for joining us tonight as we do have the conclusions for Group D. Twitch.tv/RedefinedLive. They're still going on with games, so go tune in, support the Group C games, support Amateur, and support all the wonderful players that are trying to make it as pros. And thank you to the teams and players putting on a great show for us. I've been Cubby, it's been Smacks, Avril. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.